We got to talk about some NFL insider quotes, revealing a little bit more about what the Seahawks offense is going to be looking like this season. They're finally catching on that Rashid Shaheed is good at his job and not just a punt returner. What's going on, everybody? Christian Pedersen back with another episode of Seahawks Digest, the show that is absolutely bored AF of the off season. Like, I'm ready as heck for football. You know, we're still giving you daily content, so thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in. You can like, comment, subscribe, share. Love hearing from you guys, even if it is just to tell me that I am a boring, brain-dead moron. All that being said, I want to talk about today's headline, where there is some updates coming out from Jeremy Fowler talking about Rashid Shaheed ahead of training camp, what Brian Fleury and the offense are going to look like. Here's what I saw talking about Jeremy Fowler of ESPN, the legacy media, as I use in air quotes right there. Some of these people have taken time to bash the Seahawks a lot or overly compliment the Rams. And so it's nice to hear a little bit of love coming out. The quotes down there in the second paragraph, I'll read for you. Did make some calls before I came on the show. Fowler said in a June 28th video from his X account, a little intel on Seattle, more motion and shifts in the offense. They will have that with Brian Fleury. I'm told Sam Darnold is really comfortable with that. Rashid Shaheed, we know, is fast. He had a strong spring. I'm told he and Darnold are hitting it off. They're going to give him more. There's like two big parts to take away from that. For me, I've done enough of talking about the comfortableness of Shaheed and that, like, yes, he came in the middle of last year, but it seemed like they already clicked right off the bat. And there's been plenty of interviews where Darnold has talked about how awesome it was to add him on. And they're going to be now adding him into a wide receiver room that drafted decent rookies, getting Torrey Horton healthy again. Like, all the pieces are there for it to be a fantastic skill group. But then on top of that, to just give Darnold an off season to actually work with Shaheed and just, you know, do the mind meld thing, I dig it. Talking about schematically, when they're saying there's going to be more motions and shifts, again, it's interesting to me what you kind of project onto a guy like Fleury before you've ever actually seen any. No one has seen him call any NFL plays. He is a tight end whisperer, so he's going to make everyone George Kittle. He's going to do more motions than this. He's the same as Kubiak. That's why they picked. There's all sorts of pontification about, like, what is he going to do, and people are guessing these other things. I'm assuming it's not going to be like he reinvents the wheel and comes out there in some wing T power I sort of thing. But to hear that he is using a little bit more complicated, hey, we're going to have some pieces in motion. We're going to have this, that, and the other. Turn it. Maybe it's not going to be fully Dennis Rodman from Last Dance with the that meme, but to have all of that on Darnold, where he's going to be mixing his reads with guys coming in motion, this over here, that over there, have a bevy of options. That, for some quarterbacks, can be analysis paralysis and be like, hey, that's actually a little doing too much out the gate. So to see that Fleury has the confidence in his boys that, hey, we've all had a good offseason, we've got some pieces that are all capable of running a bunch of different schematic stuff, and we've got a quarterback in the middle of it who is really happy with it, I think that's fantastic. Like, this all has to be good news. I haven't delivered you guys much bad news in the offseason. The quotes continue that some of those routes you saw that JSN was running so well last year, he'll still do that, but they're going to give more short to intermediate stuff to Shaheed. It's going to be really interesting for me to see who gets assigned what defensive schematics. Assuming you can't, if you're the opposing defense, you have to game plan for JSN being wide receiver number one. Like, it would be disrespectful not to, and probably you'd lose if you put your 2 or your 3 corner on him and just be like, okay, yeah, go out there on an island. Like, Darnold's going to expose that all day. But then to be like, hey, we've got this guy and another guy who could be wide receiver one for some teams, and we've also got Cupp, and we've also got tight ends. I don't feel like there's a lot of room for, the Seahawks, again, got schematically shut down this week by another defense that figured out they're the one-trick ponies, et cetera, et cetera. Like, this is a team that when you have a bevy of options, not like in all of this, I'm just talking about the pass game. We haven't even gotten to the run game. Not talking about that in this video, but they're saying that Shaheed, he's going to be a big-time player for him. They feel comfortable. Those tight ends are going to be moving all around with the motion that they're going to be doing. That's the thing. We talk about who they lost, but they made a point. They are going to be like the motion and the moving pieces, but also to like, it's not just motion to hide the one guy. It's motion to be like, okay, pick your poison. Where are you going to overcommit to? And then Darnold coming out saying and feeling that he is comfortable with all of this has me really excited that even with as difficult of a stretch as some of these early and late chunks of the season are going to be for the Seahawks, that there's still like, I tell me where you're worried on offense in all of this. Really, seriously. I don't know what to be like, oh, we've got so much going on to compensate for. Like it's not like we're trying to project out that Shaheed's this 9th round draft pick who's this guy that's got this crazy story that, oh my, he's a really good wide receiver who might low key be it would seem the unsung hero of the upcoming season. Different interview, but this one's from Richard Sherman on his podcast, talking about how he and this was a recent one about him talking about how he thinks that the passing game is going to be a little bit more relied upon this season by the Seahawks, and mentions, in addition to Shaheed, Torrey Horton, Cooper Kupp. Like, it's a bevy of good options. And especially when you've got, like, Kupp is a shell of his former self, and Horton is coming off of an injury. So you got two guys there that if we were relying on them as the two, then I could be like, okay, they're gonna double team or provide extra help over the top for JSN, and then we've really got to be like, oh, holy hell, we got to target the heck out of Cooper Kupp this year. I don't know if he's got the same amount in the tank as he has from 5-6 years ago. But to be like, we got two guys now who are wide receiver ones, plus a really solid concept for what to do with our good tight ends and a run game, then you're just like, oh, on the other side of the field, we've got Kupp and Horton, or different, like, they're moving around. Like, I'm getting excited. Like I said, I'm ready for football to be back. I'm excited for football to be back, but this is just more good news. And I think it's interesting schematically to be starting to actually get little bits leaked out by these guys who are actually talking to the people that are in the building. That's what I got for you on this episode. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. Like, subscribe, share, dislike, comment. Love hearing from all of you no matter what. Until next time, we'll talk to you soon.